She found a passenger's entire life in seat 14C, boarding pass, wallet, phone. But according to the airline's records, no one by that name had ever checked in. Sarah Chen found the wallet wedged between two carry-ons in overhead compartment 14C. When she opened it to find the owner, she saw her own face staring back from the driver's license. Sarah had been a Delta flight attendant for 7 years. Flight 2847 from Seattle to Boston was running late that Tuesday evening. Every seat filled, everyone accounted for. She discovered the mysterious items 20 minutes into the flight while helping an elderly passenger retrieve a blanket. The boarding pass inside read Sarah Chen, seat 14C, but she'd worked this flight, never been a passenger. According to the manifest, seat 14C belonged to a Marcus Webb who checked in at the gate. Her hands went cold.
The woman in 14C borrowed my charger 10 minutes ago.
He explained he'd assumed she was crew because of the Delta uniform, but he hadn't seen her since. Sarah checked the galley, the lavatories. No one had seen another crew member. 2 more passengers reported interactions. A mother in row 16 said the flight attendant in 14C had calmed her crying baby with surprising tenderness, singing a lullaby Sarah's own mother used to sing. A teenager in row 10 showed Sarah a napkin where the other attendant had sketched the Seattle skyline, the same view from Sarah's apartment window down to the specific anchor. The pilot granted her access to the cockpit security monitors. Sarah scrolled through cabin footage from boarding, her heart hammering against her ribs as passengers filed in and overhead bins clicked shut. And there, sliding into seat 14C, a woman in a Delta uniform. Same dark hair, same name tag. Sarah watched herself settle into the seat, pull out a book, and fall asleep. But Sarah hadn't boarded as a passenger. She'd arrived an hour early for her shift. The footage didn't lie, but neither did her memories. Unless something was terribly wrong. She pulled out her phone with shaking hands and opened her email. The message was there, sent 3 weeks ago, but she had no memory of reading it.
Deadheading home after your mother's memorial service.
The memorial service. Sarah stood frozen, suddenly remembering the funeral home in Seattle, unable to cry, unable to feel anything except the weight of things she'd never said. The guilt of missing her mother's final weeks because she'd been too busy flying strangers across the country, telling herself she'd visit next month. Always next month. She looked down at her hands under the cabin, reading light. They were translucent, catching the amber glow like thin paper held to flame. The woman in 14C, the real Sarah Chen, was asleep in her seat with tear tracks still visible on her face. She'd been so exhausted by grief that she'd simply gone through the motions one more time. A ghost of routine, protecting her sleeping self the only way she knew how. Sarah felt the plane begin its descent and realized no one had ever truly seen her tonight. She picked up the businessman's charger and walked to his seat, placing it gently in his hand. He didn't notice. No one ever did, she realized, unless she wanted them to. As the wheels touched down in Boston, Sarah Chen in seat 14C woke with a start, disoriented. But for the first time in 3 weeks, the crushing weight in her chest had lifted enough to breathe. The overhead bin was empty when she opened it. Just her messenger bag, her phone, her wallet. Everything exactly where it should be. But she was carrying a little less than before. She gathered her things and joined the line of deplaning passengers, leaving behind the part of herself that hadn't known how to rest. The wallet sat safely in her hands once more. Sometimes the people we've lost find their way back to us, just long enough to say goodbye. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more mysteries that'll make you believe. Because not all passengers are meant to reach their destination.